So as an update to what I talked about last week with this inspection appointment notice that I got from the city of Long Beach, where someone from the city was going to come and inspect my apartment along with the building manager and a representative from the management company. Basically, I ended up spending like 3 days just cleaning up and trying to organize as much as I possibly could and just getting everything ready. And I was actually up until like 4 a.m. the day that they were going to come and inspect, and they were going to come and inspect between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. So I only got like 4 hours of sleep between when they actually were going to show up and when I went to sleep. So it ended up going a little differently than I expected it to. Well, here, it went a little something like this. Hello? Morning, sir. I'm from the city. Do you have any problems with your apartment? No? Alright, thank you. Wait, that's it? That's it. Okay, thanks. Bye. Bye. So yeah, that was quite annoying. Hey guys, Sean here. So it is Friday the 13th at 8 o'clock p.m. and that means that in 24 hours this video is going to be posting to YouTube. The thing is, I still have no idea what this video is going to be about. The fact that I am recording this so late in the evening means that there will be so many sounds coming from the sumo wrestlers upstairs. I don't know if they're really sumo wrestlers, but they appear to have a child that they are training to be a sumo wrestler, so there's at least that. Also, they have these chairs that you can't lift off the ground. You have to actually scrape them across the ground in order to move them around, so there's that too. So I guess all that really leaves me with is to do a stream of consciousness video, because I only have the 24 hours and I can't do something that requires a whole lot of edits. I mean, as it is, the thing you saw at the beginning here, which at this point I haven't actually shot yet, that's going to take a lot of editing, so that really cuts down the amount of stuff that I can do in this video. You don't care about this. I should rant about something. So, what is bothering me the most in 2017 right now? Well, it is this right here. This is a comic book. This is a Marvel comic book. This is actually Deadpool number 24. Deadpool number 24 isn't bothering me, it's Marvel Comics in general. You see, a majority of... It begins. You see, a majority of comics these days cost $2.99. Now, I know what you're thinking. $2.99? That's ridiculous. In my day, they were 5 cents. Okay, slow your roll, Grandpa. I understand that, but things inflate over the years. Gas used to be 5 cents too, but it's not anymore. People used to be able to buy houses for $4,000 with a down payment of $1. That used to happen in the 70s. That's not going to happen anymore. Anyway, what is my point? My point is that all Marvel comic books are actually $3.99 instead of $2.99. Wait, $3.99? How can they justify charging an extra $1 than all of the other comics out there? Well, it's very simple. It's because of this right here. If you see right here, it says Bonus Digital Edition. What does that mean? Well, if we go inside here and we go to this page right here, underneath this sticker there is a code, and with that code you go online, you enter it, and then you get a bonus digital version of this comic book. Here, let me show you. So I went to Marvel.com, I entered the code that's in this comic, and now I can read it on my iPad on the Marvel app. Why would you want to do that? Well, it keeps the comic nice and pristine, and you still get to read the story that's inside. This is actually the only reason that I buy physical versions of Marvel Comics, because you get a good deal out of it. Because you see, digital Marvel Comics are also $3.99, which is ridiculous because they don't have to print anything. and they don't have to ship anything. It's all digital. And so instead of buying the digital version of a Marvel comic, which is the same price as a physical version, why not get something that's worth $8 instead of something that's just worth $4? So the digital version and the physical version of the same comic. Seems pretty good to me, right? Well, Marvel decided they couldn't have that anymore because I guess people were too happy. I don't know. So they've decided to change it up a bit to bring more readers in and to help the local comic book shops. So starting in February, what they're going to be doing is there's going to be a code in all Marvel Comics, and there's going to be 3 different codes distributed throughout all Marvel Comics every week. And with those codes, you can get one of a certain back issue, be it Civil War #2, which is a big event that has just been concluded in Marvel Comics. You would get the #1 issue of that, or you would get the #1 issue of Captain Marvel, which is a movie that's going to be coming out next year, or you'll get the #1 issue of Old Man Logan, which is kind of what the new Wolverine movie is based on. And then that's it. So if you were to buy, say, 15 Marvel Comics one week, you would only still get the 3 digital comics, and you don't get the digital version of the comic you're buying anymore. So unlike before, where you would basically get double your money value, now you only get double your money value up to 3 comics that you buy, and then after that you just get nothing. And it's even worse if you already have those 3 back issues. Like, I already have Civil War 2 #1. So if I get that code, that's useless to me. Their whole idea behind this is that, well, this will get people to start going into the local comic book shops and buying the physical comics because they will get these free issues. It's like they already got free issues. They got free issues of the comic they were buying. A lot of people really liked that. That's the only reason I buy the physical comics. Needless to say, there is a lot of uproar about it online. There is a petition to change this on change.org. However, I think it only has like 600 people who have signed it because not a lot of people really buy comic books. That's just the sad fact of it. And while Marvel says that, yeah, they're doing this to help the local comic shops, all this is going to do is hurt them. Because all those people that bought physical comics are now just going to buy digital versions of them. And that's what Marvel wants. They want you to buy more digital comics so they don't have to print all the physical comics anymore. And so I've kind of found myself in a bit of a situation. I don't know that I'm going to continue buying Marvel Comics now. And since Marvel Comics are really the only comics that I buy anymore, I'm probably not going to be buying comics anymore. At least not until they figure out what it is they're doing here. I talked to the owner of the comic book store that I go to, and he actually hadn't heard about this yet, and when I was explaining it, he was like, I don't like the sound of that. And he was a little saddened when he heard that I probably wouldn't be coming in anymore, because I go there every week. I've kind of become one of the regulars there. But the only way you can protest against large companies is with your wallet, so I can't buy them anymore. And that really sucks, because I'm not really hurting Marvel Comics by doing that. I'm hurting the owner of the comic book store that I go to. He actually believes that come this summer, they will probably lower their prices to $2.99 because that has worked out so well for DC. DC has actually sold more comics by doing that and made more money in the long run. So he figures that that's what they're going to do. If that's the case, that's going to completely, disrupt my entire way of consuming comics. But anyway, yes, I know it's a major first world problem, and it's pretty good that that is the thing that is bothering me the most right now, but it's just, it's sad, because I had so gotten used to doing this every week, and it was a routine every week, and now it's completely disrupted. And I don't know what I'm going to do. It's something I have to figure out. So dramatic about something so stupid. Speaking of unneedlessly spending money, remember this guy right here? This is Weird Al Yankovic. He is going to be releasing a 15 album box set of all of the albums that he has recorded. And it's going to come in a box that's shaped like an accordion. It's something that I would really like to get. However, here's the thing. I actually already own all of Weird Al Yankovic's albums, be it physically or digitally on iTunes, so there's zero reason for me to get that. Luckily, I think this is one of those situations where I'm going to actually be able to resist. Besides, I have all the Weird Al I need right here. Isn't that right? That's right. So here's another first worldy problem that I'm having. This here is the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Joker figure. I have all of the figures in this line that have been released to date, and I have them all hanging on my wall. My brother was a huge Batman fan, and I have all these figures partly as a tribute to him, but also because Batman the Animated Series was the beginning of the greatest, just overall series of superhero cartoons that's ever existed. It started with Batman, then went to Superman, then went to Justice League, and then Justice League Unlimited. And Justice League Unlimited, I believe, is the pinnacle of superhero cartoon shows. Anyway, I digress. My problem with this is these right here. This is the little hook that is glued to the back of these. They come off a lot. A lot of times while these are hanging on the wall, they will separate, and this one has recently separated. So I need to put glue on the back of this to make it stay together better. This is like a real first world problem complaint right here. But it's something, as I was just looking around the room, I saw and was bothering me, so I had to go and grab it and fix it so I can put it back on the wall. I don't know why I have decided not to open these and display them in a different way, but currently that's just the way it is. It's have them sealed and hung on the wall. So here's a funny thing about them. They're all individually numbered. This one's number 5. If you saw my video before where I went to the comic book store and bought the bought the Clayface figure, it's number 30. I've seen online these posters that have, them all lined up and their number next to them, and I'm like, okay, so what's the next one going to be? And I've seen online these posters that have, oh, that's what the next one's going to be. Okay, that's interesting. And I could never, figure out where these posters are, or where you get them. Well, it turns out they're actually inside of here. Each figure has one of those posters inside of it. So this entire time I've had 30 of those posters, but I just haven't opened the boxes. Well, and also the posters have been updated as time has gone on, so I'm sure that whatever poster is in here, all the figures that are on it, I already have on my wall. Okay, what else? Let's see. So this week, comic book shows started coming back. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came back this week. I haven't watched this week's episode yet, but I will most likely do that tonight or tomorrow night or on Sunday. And then next week, the DC Universe TV shows come back, which, if you saw my ridiculously long video about all that, you know that I quite enjoy those shows. So that's good. That's something positive. It's like living under a saloon. I haven't gotten back to Disneyland yet this year, but that will be either sometime this weekend or next week. And I'll try and get some footage while I'm there. I mean, it'll be all nighttime footage, but there's still plenty of things that are interesting at night. Or at least if I'm good, I can make them interesting. That's a lot of pressure. It's just a lot of walking back and forth up there. I don't understand what it is they do. Just pick somewhere to be and just be there. What's so wrong with that? Relax a little bit. You know, it's funny, I'm always talking about how I'd like to make a shorter video every once in a while, and here I am just rambling on and on about nothingness, so why don't I go ahead? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. However, here's the funny thing. Every time I say I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short, So I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. Now here's the funny thing about that. Every time I say I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short, when it gets around to editing, the video ends up being like 25 minutes anyway. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with this video. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. If you'd like to see more of this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button either down below or on the end screen. If you'd like to see what last week's video was all about, go ahead and hit the previous video on the end screen. And if you'd like to see what my most recent video is, go ahead and hit recent video on my end screen. And lastly, if you really like what I do here and would like to help support it, go ahead and hit the Patreon button at the very end of the video as well, and you can sign up for my Patreon. Feel free to hit the like button too while you're at it. I honestly don't know what that does yet and how that helps in any way, but it's there, so it's gotta help in some way. Everyone's always asking for it. And so with that, have a good however long it is until you watch my next video.